Don't have to hold it. Anyway, we got 12 volts coming through the coax and coming out to the device. Now we could utilize the switch here to turn it off, but turn that back on. It's finagling because I'm going here. Okay. So what does all this mean? Well, someone had asked me how I powered my remote tuner. Now this is a SG C237 model. It comes with a pigtail with a coax as part of the control wires. So you have this cable with a coax and control wires. This particular setup right now, I'm just using the power, because you really don't need control wires for the tuner. And so as soon as I can, I'm going to put this camera down again so I can plug this in. So now I'm getting power from the battery through the coax to the unit. And if we hear carefully, I'll turn the power on and off. And that's how that works. But there are some times that you want to use the control line. Let me put the camera down again. You want to use the control lines because it's called a smart lock. So they provide these controls for the smart lock. And the smart lock, what it does, once the tuner has found a solution, it locks that setting in case the SWR swings, your antenna is swinging into the wind, or the antenna fell down or something. You don't want it to start tuning when you're putting in, 100 watts. Okay. And it also has indicators to tell you when it's a final solution and when it has not. So what does that look like? Well, here's another tuner. This tuner has the homebrew lock. It looks like this. This is another homebrew lock. The circuits are on the web. This is another 237. And so you can reset it without turning it on and off. And it tells you when it has found a solution or not. Okay. The disadvantage of this, having the smart lock, is you can't take advantage of this setup, because now you have to have the smart lock close to your operating position. Okay. Or like I have done here, just leave it on and then monitor from afar. But someone asked, I think I forgot what's his name, asked me how I go by with the smart lock. Well, if you're going to use this setup, I don't think you need a smart lock. Okay, you only, like I showed on this one, you only need the 12 volts for the tuner. And once you prime the tuner, it finds a solution and it stays put. You change frequency, send in prime it again with a small power, and it'll find a solution. You'll have to verify the SWR. I mean, if it finds a solution, the SWR is less than 2.0, because that's the threshold that it'll stop. Here, which is also could be changed inside. Or you can look at your SWR meter, okay? I don't go through none of that. Like I said, once it finds a solution, I could go to it and then just turn it off, lock it. And this is what that looks like. Well, let's see, we still have power here. Let me plug that in again. And that's what that looks like. It's red. And when it finds a solution, it's green. So you could, right now, when the red is red, it's locked, okay? And this is the reset. I don't have an antenna or a radio in, but if you were to prime it and it found a solution, you'll get the green light. Then you come and you lock it, and the SDR could change, but it would not retune, okay? That's what I love about these tuners. So here we have two of them. I have a 230 outside, and that one is controlled by the real kind of smart lock that came directly from SGC. Okay. And then I have another project with a 231. These are small, so the solutions are, there's not many relays, not many capacitor in there, so it's a little bit limited. Okay, the 230, it's a bigger box, it's more capacitance, more relays, so there's more solutions, okay? Similar to the 231 and the 235. The 235 is a 500 watt unit. The 230 is a 200 watt unit. The 237s and the 237 and the 230 100 watt units, okay? This one could go up to 160 down to the 60 megahertz. Anyway, so hopefully it helps someone. I forgot your name, I'm sorry about that. But that's how you would set one of these up. Again, you could have two of these, two of the one without the switch, like here, and then put this in its place. And if you want to turn your device away, then you have to find a way to interrupt the 12 volts going through the coax. So to capture then, to recap, 12 volts goes into this unit. There's a couple of capacitors in there isolated from the radio, a couple of capacitors here isolated from the device. The DC goes through our choke and bypass capacitors out here and in here. Okay, next I'll show you it's in the garage. I'll show you the other tuner. The thing with these tuners, the 237 and the 230, the pigtails are already attached, okay? With the 231, there's no. You have a coax, and then you have like 8-pin mic jack and associated cable. So I like that pretty good. Right now, this is going to go in this box, Apache case, something like this. Right, with something like that and in here somewhere. And I'll close it and it'll be set to go. Let me see if I can go to the garage. Well, this is my other unit. And you see this one is much larger, so there's more solutions. But like I was mentioning, it comes with a separate control line than from the coax. This one is going to have, I have the circuit already. I could use the smart lock with this, or I could use one of those bias T. This thing here is a monster. This is SGC's mobile mount. It's a huge coil. It's about a good 3 or 4 pounds there. And right now I'm going to put my fishing pole with a wire and attach it to that. Made a ground plane underneath it. Well, we'll see if it works. There's some legs under there. So the idea is to take it out, set it on the ground, or set on top of the Jeep, and we'll see what we'll go with that.